Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome to the Texas Ticket. This is Armando, and I'm with Gina Rodriguez. Right here on the Texas Ticket Show. Gina, welcome.
Gracias. Thank you so much for having me. Again, it's Gina Magaly Rodriguez, for correction.
Does everybody call you that full name?
Yes, sir. I'm proud.
Man, I can barely say Gina.
Yeah, it's okay. You can
I'm
say
sorry. If I didn't mess up your name, there'd be like every other guest before you would probably have it out for me. Oh, you remembered her name.
Gina. Yes.
Yeah, that would. If I remember your middle name, también.
También.
Oh my gosh, I'd be
Gina
in so
Magaly.
much trouble. They're like, you couldn't remember. My name's Lacey. Like, oh Lord. But yeah, the same day we had Lacey Baker on, and I just trying to give myself some courtesy there. We had Lacey,
Okay.
Linda, Lori. It was like a lot of
L's.
I destroyed it. The worst of the worst. Well, welcome, folks. Welcome to the Texas Ticket Show here on Lone Star Community Radio. I'm Armando, and I'm with Gina
Magaly Rodriguez.
and today we're going to go over a lot of the upcoming events happening here and around about town. I have to go over a few things that happened last weekend, which was spectacular, and things that will happen this weekend and going forward. We got Easter coming up. We got April Fool's Day tomorrow, and we got a few other things. And we're going to go over all that. We have a special guest here today. Harley Ray is with us, and he'll be jumping in here in just a few minutes. But Gina, tell me about Gina.
So, Gina, mother of three, very proud. I am in real estate with One Property Group. So, again, it's Gina Magaly Rodriguez.
One property group out of Montgomery?
Yes,
Okay.
with Monica Brasovsky. So, not
Say
only...
her name again, slower.
Monica Brasovsky.
Brasovsky.
Yes.
See, I've been tearing that up. Now, Monica was head of the Rotary Club. I don't know if she still is. Is she still head of the Rotary?
She's pretty active with the chambers as well. But yeah, she's
all about it out there in Montgomery. Doing a great job, and really her team's been growing exponentially over the past few years. And it's good to have you here. It's good to have anybody representing her here. And I'm glad you're co-hosting with me today. And
definitely.
So what's up? What's going on in your world and the real estate world in Montgomery, Texas?
Montgomery County is just vast, growing. By the time I blink, there's another subdivision popping in. Right now, we're seeing investors, new buyers. I mean, it's a constant, continual, and I'm proud to see it grow. Montgomery County wasn't what it was when I moved back here 12 years ago. So it is a new Montgomery. It's a new Conroe.
It really is.
It's new Willis. It's amazing. I can honestly say that seeing it, living it, growing, it's just magnificent.
All right, so pop quiz.
Go for it.
Pop quiz. This is the MoCo pop quiz. Lions, Tigers, and Bears. First thing that comes to mind. Second thing that comes to mind. Oh, my was my first thing too. Yeah, it came like instantly. Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Go.
Well, in reference to
anything Montgomery County.
So Montgomery County, considering that there's a lot of up and coming
I'm gonna go with the
areas.
easiest one first.
So where I'm going is that entertainment, nightlife, bars, restaurants. It is kicking. It's nice, and I'm seeing it. I'm all about the reviews. I love to take pictures of my food, eat it, meet the owner, great management, and kudos to a lot of these new up-and-coming restaurants in our Montgomery County. I'm very impressed.
Oh, there's so much. We're going to try and get into some of that. With Bears, the first hint.
Bears?
Montgomery Bears.
Montgomery Bears. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So?
Purple and gold.
Purple and gold? Yeah,
gold.
of course.
Montgomery Bears.
Okay. Are you a fan of Montgomery Bears?
Alumni. Yeah, that's Montgomery High School.
Oh, yes.
So the Lions.
The Lions.
Lion Creek.
Yes.
Yep. Lion Creek is the other big school in the area. The other one is Lions Tigers. Conroe Tigers.
Yes, Conroe High School Tigers. Yes.
Yeah, so the Conroe
Go
Tigers.
to the Conroe High School band. My son
What
was a member there.
about Wildcats?
The Wildcats, Willis High School. My daughter goes
all
there.
right,
Yes.
All right, Willis High School. Mm-hmm. What about, okay, what is a Bearcat?
The Bearcat, as in
Huntsville State mascot.
Huntsville. Yeah, you went to Sam.
I did.
Yeah.
What is a Bearcat?
A Bearcat is a bear.
It's not a thing. It's like a chupacabra. Yeah. You know, on this story, Huntsville, Sam Houston State University.
Yes.
Well, we call it that now, but it wasn't always that. There's a lot of things that changed in Texas
HMU,
through
yeah.
time. The original name was the Houston Independent, Sam Houston Independent Teachers University. But that was pronounced "shit you" on the on the T-shirt, so they changed it
Sue.
to Sam Houston State University.
Sue.
SHIT University was what it appeared on the shirt itself. So it's Sam Houston Independent Teachers University.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so that was the actual acronym and the pronunciation of the acronym of Sam Houston State University at some point that we call it today, but before that was the name. As soon as they printed the first T-shirt, they were like, "Well, we're gonna have to change this name." Yeah, it's like this isn't working out like we planned.
Right.
So that's going to change. But there's a lot of local mascots and a lot of things, and I think having one of the best school districts in the area, from the Woodlands Highlanders to the Willis Wildcats, going all the way out to A&M University and Baylor and some of the Texas Tech. And
Don't forget, go Cougs, baby.
And
U of
Sam
H.
Houston State, the Cougars, St. Thomas University and HBU and so many other really good universities that are here in our area and in stone's throw of where we send our children.
Right.
I mean, out of state tuition is got to have purpose. You know,
Exactly,
I mean, if I'm going to send my son or daughter as a Texan to Auburn,
Right.
where my nephew goes, well, out-of-state university has a purpose. Maybe you go there for your master's, or you go there for a special level of education. But you gotta, pick those as they come. But locally, I think one of the things that we're really respected for and appreciated for more so, maybe, is the Lions, the Tigers, and the Bears.
Oh my.
I do. I believe so. And I'm proud to be a Bear and a Bearcat. But niece is a Texas Tech, and my sister Stephen F. Austin, and my but as is Texas education, and I think we've got a great offering for a state. And as far as educating people, we have Ivy League schools, all the way to religious universities, to just our day-to-day high schools and other schools here that I think are making a huge impact in education, and I'm grateful to be a part of. And I
Definitely.
I hope a little bit of it shows.
Of course.
I was schooled here, so
Me too. Makes
Well,
the two of us.
I try to keep it simple. So, but the show's not really about those accolades. But tell me, what brought you to working with Miss Brasovsky in Montgomery?
Monica Brasovsky.
I said
I've
it
known
right.
her for about 11 years, and she was my neighbor right there in Lake Conroe.
Really?
Yes.
Were you already a
and-
licensed agent at the time?
No, I was actually just stay-at-home mom because I wanted to focus on the kids later on career.
Okay.
And I did. I was in the band, band mom, cheer mom, you name it. And one of the things that I really saw was, yes, I'll get to my career, but I wanted to be there for my kids. Go to the soccer games, football games, cheer camps, band events, and I did. And so Monica at the time wanted to hire me. And it's like, Monica, I have kids. I'm involved in this and this and that. So she's like, okay, it didn't work out. But anyhow, here I am today, almost empty nester, which is
Cool.
good in 1 month. And all kids will be in Texas universities,
There you
thank
go.
God. And here I am in real estate.
There you go. And super. So I want to go ahead and just kind of gather your opinion as we go through the show today and get a little bit more about what Gina likes, and some of those things will be revealed to us later in the show. We have the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show. And in that segment, I want to get some of the ideas of things that you like to do and things that are happening around town. But for now, we have Harley Ray, musician, songwriter, as well as more to that, and I don't want to add my assumed, new occupations, but you've got a lot going on with the Texas music. And,
I do quite a bit.
And those are all real important to us. And your recent appearance at the Libation Creation Festival at
That was
B52
fun.
Brewing.
That was definitely fun.
And you performed with AJ Santana there.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I've known him for a very long time.
I thought that show was fire.
he's
Really,
something
when you
else.
two guys together made a combination of some really cool music. It was very complimentary of your skills. And
Thank you.
it's like, man, I haven't played along with him. I've heard his music. He's heard mine, but us on the same stage hasn't happened. And that happened at the LCF.
Mm-hmm.
And
We cut our teeth on the Houston music scene for many, many years, about a decade ago, when we were both full time and trying. We really just had a dream and a full tank of gas, and that was all we had. And from
Nice.
going from that and living off
And
of
half a pack of
dollar
smokes.
burgers, half pack of smokes.
I got
back
half
when
a
did
pack
that.
of smoke, full tank of gas.
AJ is one of the few friends that I can consider a friend today that never slowed down, never let up, and never
Yeah.
stopped. He's doing fantastic. And just from the set that we played on Saturday to today, I know personally he's learned at least 3 new complete pieces of material, and that says a lot when it's freshly. We're recording today, Tuesday. Recording on Tuesday. We're live on Friday.
Fridays, yeah.
Yeah. Just from Saturday to Tuesday, 3 brand new pieces fully completed, no work in front of them to look at to reference. That's an accomplishment. That speaks volumes about your character as a musician.
Kudos. That's
So a
awesome.
lot of love for AJ. A lot of love for AJ.
He's good. I like his
He's
sound.
good.
I like his touch.
And his beautiful falsetto range, too.
I love he does. It's kind of surprising. When somebody sits in front of you, we all look the same. We all put our clothes on the same. We all kind of do a lot of the
Let's
same
hope so.
things for the most part.
Yes.
Generally speaking. And when somebody has talent, and I think that's a Michael Jordan quote. I put my shorts on just like everybody else.
Right.
I go out there and I play ball just like the rest of the guys. We do all the same things. We practice the same practices. We have the same coach. But I'm Michael Jordan.
Well, I kind of agree with you. Yeah. I kind of.
And he had his, I've lost 20 X amount of missed X amount of game winning shots. I've been given the opportunity this many times, and this many times I won.
I think there's the practice that you should be expected to do, with your team and stuff.
Sure.
But all of those hours you put in at home, outside on your own private court, or like for instance, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. So yeah, definitely.
Constantly.
You got to participate. You got to meet your requirements for sure.
Yeah. AJ is an animal too. He doesn't stop playing, and a lot of the musicians that I've seen take this on as a career, I think it's kind of new to them to embrace a career in this way.
Very difficult.
Where it's all in one boat, right? Because usually there's a transition between what I had to do and what I wanted to do and now what is.
Right.
And then when I make that transition, how do you do it? Do you couple the two? Do you work part-time for a few years and then transition? Do you retire then transition?
Right.
Or did I have choices? And what did I end up with? And where is it now? And what I've seen from AJ is and a few others is just some aggressiveness amongst the leaders that I find a commonplace. Right, like Jeff Canada, for example.
Yeah.
He's running 300 plus shows a year, 320, 325, and there's only 356 days in the year. This
I
man's
hear you.
Dedication right there, sir.
I do
Yes,
8
sir,
shows
all
a
the way.
week. I feel you. It takes everything. People don't think
you
think of
gotta-
music as a plan B, and for a lot of folks it is. But for this select few like Jeff Canada, myself, AJ, those guys that are full time, there is no plan B. This is what I will live and die by. And,
you gotta hustle.
Yeah,
You gotta
and there's
hustle.
other things you do too, like on the side that you can incorporate in the music business. Some people get into graphic design. I do podcasting. Some people do, booking and putting together shows, which is a headache. My hat's off to you for the LCF because I imagine that was quite a headache. Putting that
I'm
together.
liberated at the end of
Liberated.
it. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
my freedom back. It's like, but it does tie you down to things and to your goals. But I feel driven in these ways. I feel motivated in these ways. It brings me to who I believe I'm to be. I think me and rest is me and rest. That's not who I'm supposed to be. That's not who I was born to be. But I am born with a need to have some.
definitely
I'm
have a
going to
knack.
need to take a break. You're going to need to have rest. Even the best of bread needs time to rest. So, I think what I've seen is from the full-timers, from the people that this is my career, this is my livelihood, this is my life,
Right.
and it's more so than the next gig. It's about a career. And one of the things I've seen about you that really are attractive is that you have that career orientation that, one, brings you to this podcast,
Thank you,
and this show, and two, brings you to your own, and not only meeting what it takes to put on a podcast and doing it, and taking advice from counsel, which is a rare thing. Most people, arrogance leads the show.
Oh yeah, you're
Right.
definitely right.
And advice is the last thing on their mind because they know best. And it tends to still get there, but it just takes a lot longer than when you seek good counsel. And
Everybody's an expert, right?
oh, lots of that. And I'll tell you, we've seen you taken less than a 2-3 month period, take your show from inception to Texas music.
Texas
scene.
Country Music Association, yeah.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of work that goes on outside of just being a performer, which is great. I am a full timer. That's what I do. It's my main thing.
Yeah.
But I had the idea one day. I was like, there's nobody really reviewing Texas music as far as trademarked, copied, business plan, patented, all that stuff. And I said, well, surely this will be a thing.
Yeah.
But I went ahead and trademarked it, and it started on my couch. I have a lot of famous friends and a lot of people that are more dedicated than most that have, sent me music for my opinion. And I'm a very technical guy. When I break down music, I listen very intently, and I listen from a songwriter's perspective, a guitar player's perspective. I play a multitude of different instruments. A lot of people don't know that. I play.
You have a good ear for it.
play over
And
17 different
you
instruments.
hear things in music that, as a musician, that
Yeah,
people
so
like
I try
us-
to address that, content, melodic structure, harmonization, rhythm, changing, emotional influence
That's
aspect.
phenomenal.
So I try to listen for these things and give my honest opinion. And I figured the best way to kind of capitalize on that is to share that with other people too. And this podcast that I formed, Texas Music Reviews, is a podcast for musicians and to promote their music in a healthy way throughout Texas and to let other people see. Some people that listen to this music that may have listened to it their whole life don't know exactly the type of effort, technique, style, and steez that it takes to put together this track. So we try to explain that by saying like, hey, this is,
But you select good music. I mean, you select songs
people
that
submit
I
them.
want.
They submit to me. Yeah.
It's nice because typically you're on point of things I want to know more about, right? Or a song I'm also interested in. And if I'm not, and I'm hearing you rant on about it, I feel like,
It's a lot of fun.
I want to go listen to the song really quick. Or you'll play some excerpts of the
Yeah.
song, trying to stay in copyright laws and all that. But
We
you'll
get
play-
released. They sign release forms for the copyrights and everything. So just in case any
I've
lawyers
heard
are
those
watching.
little bits, and they're interesting, especially when they're songs I don't know. But I seem to drift around in there a bit. But what keeps me attracted to the show? You have a co-host there.
Yeah,
Tell me
Drew
about
Mitchell.
him. Drew Mitchell, yes. Tell me about Drew.
So Drew's an excellent guy. He started coming. I met him at Borski's Tavern. He was coming in, and he just started performing. And we really took to being friends real quick. We just seemed to kind of operate the same way. And he's also completely sober, just like myself. And yeah.
We all do what we got to do.
No, I
and you
hear
do it
you.
for reasons that are important to you. And really, I mean no disrespect.
No, that's
by
like
that.
what started our
I heard
friendship.
I had a guest in here telling me about alcoholism in his family and how brutal it can be. And I've seen those things in my life and other people's lives. And they've impacted everyone, I think, in some ways. But for different reasons. Some people just have a problem with alcohol, and some people have a problem with self-control. And it really doesn't, alcohol, playing golf, fishing, I can't help myself no matter what it is I do.
Could be a behavior
So,
thing,
yeah. So, and they call those things many different things. It comes by many different titles. But I think a hyper focus can also be a really good tool in life, as well as it can be a demon, but it can also be a big plus. I mean, to motivate the eye of Gondor, on making good music. Right. If this is what you put your uncontrollable passions on, your focus, you're manic.
I'm an
you brought
incredibly
it.
passionate person in anything that I do.
I think I see that. I feel it just by you talking. I'm very impressed with what you're saying. I
But-
commend you for that. That's
But
awesome.
about Drew and how I had met Drew was, first we shared that he noticed I wasn't drinking during my set,
Yeah.
and I don't really advertise that I don't drink when I'm playing shows. Most people want to relate to you.
Yeah.
And we just started talking, and he had just started performing at the time, and just started like looking for advice and stuff. And I used to teach music and stuff like that too, so just giving him vocal techniques, and we were learning from each other. And his genre, his style, his approach is much different than mine. And I never, when I hear a musician, I never try to look at it from like better or worse, just as good at it or not as good as. I look at it as everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's on their own walk.
That's right.
And whatever style they're going after, or whatever venue, or more power to them. I want to support them.
I mean, no disrespect or to discredit your ability to be strong to the things that you need to control in your life, or the passion behind holding that kind of control in their families and their families' lives, and saying, hey, this is what I need to do for them, or for others, or for myself, or
Oh,
for
you're
my
talking
career.
about with drinking?
For anything, whatever the passion is, whatever it is that you have to control in a certain way for those around you, or for you to be more palatable to society, and to understand that that's the way. I mean, you have to be palatable. I mean, to some effect. I mean, you can't live in that grumpy old troll. He lives under a bridge.
There's definitely
you can do whatever you want down there.
Yeah, there's definitely a niche market for those, and there is music associated with drinking, and that has its crowd. And my wife drinks, my friends drink. Sure, for me, I'm an incredibly ambitious person. Anything that gets in the way of me and my goals needs to be destroyed. So,
I agree. I
great.
agree,
That's
and,
great.
and that's unique. I mean,
Stay focused.
Because
Definitely.
what has destroyed you in the past may not have destroyed me yet.
No, I don't think.
Not that
people
it
don't-
won't. Not that it won't.
I mean,
'Cause it
like
very
listen,
well could
people
catch
like
me.
Merle or like Hank or these other country music artists that have like liquor beer sponsors. I'm not discrediting it. Maybe not my walk. Just like I may not play rock music, but I love supporting it. I love listening to it, and I'll offer advice in any which way I can to help you down your path, whatever that path may
Jim
be.
Beam tried to kill Hank Williams back in
that's what I heard.
1973, from what I understand.
So from meeting Drew, then we sat down, and one day we were just listening to music together. Because what are you gonna do when you're sober, right? And so we were listening to music, and we were just talking about it. And I was like, you know what, man, I'd like you to come on and do a video with me. And I started Texas Music Reviews without him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he came on, and we had so much fun that when we turned off the cameras, we didn't realize it, but 2 hours had passed, and we had been talking about music.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
I think
That's
it's
nice.
still happening. I
So
think
our
you're
podcast-
still coming out of your cocoon.
Yeah, we love it.
I think you're still getting there. I really
we do
feel
10-minute episodes.
But-
We keep it real short.
But I think my vision and my view of what's happening there is different than what the rest of the world's seeing. Didn't you just get some new accolade, or was it too soon to
I did.
announce these things?
No,
I mean,
it's been really awesome. So going from that inceptive state, what I
Yeah.
mean, to working with Drew, developing the brand, and then launching on Spotify and Apple and all these podcasting sites, and then coming in here and talking with you about it just as an idea. To now, Texas Country Music Association had watched and listened to the podcast and loved it. And decided to reach out to us and talk about sponsoring the podcast. They like what we were doing. They think we're heading in the right direction, and the potential and the profitability of this market is huge. And nobody else can do Texas Music Reviews without our approval because we own all of the legal recourse for it. So that opened up a huge market for Texas Country Music Association, and the people that are on the association are just wonderful. Look at the work that they're doing for musicians, and showing and bringing recognition, promoting Texas music, fostering a healthy music community inside of the state of Texas is everything that I stand for. So I think we just see eye to eye on that. So they reached out and they offered sponsorship for it, and then asked me and Drew to present some awards because we support music so
And
much.
where are these awards presented at?
So we'll be presenting some awards at the Texas Country Music Association Awards on November 12th at Billy Bob's. And then there's also, this is
Nice.
going to be the first year that TCMA will be doing the industry awards as well for guys like you, like me, guys that are doing radio, broadcasting, terrestrial radio, photography, video.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's industry awards. I nominated you.
Did you really?
Nice.
No
I tried
way.
to. I tried to.
Go Armando.
But
Got nominated.
but yeah, and there's certain. I encourage anybody that's listening to get involved and be a member with TCMA because you get access to so many really cool things, and you get to do a lot of really cool stuff with them. And join and follow my podcast, Texas Music Reviews. Come on, be a host, be a part, get a taste. Maybe you might walk away from the episode hosting with me feeling like you've found your calling in
Okay,
broadcasting.
so I got questions.
got
Now.
answers.
Let me go first. I know you got questions.
All right. Yes.
too.
Always.
You got some questions?
Yes.
For
Go
this?
for it. Go for it.
Well, one of my first questions was, I know a lot of musicians, right? And I'm all genres, but everyone I talk to is Texan.
All right.
There's, Vincente Fernandez.
Vicente Fernandez, you mean?
Amorcito corazón, tu tengo tentación. I could go all day with this. Okay, so un beso. Well, is he welcome on your show?
Everybody's welcome on a show if you're making
What
music or
about
creating in Texas.
Tiana Hall, jazz musician out of Texas. She used to sing opera, Miss Texas. I think
know
in
Tiana.
1980.
She still sings in
whatever.
Old Town Spring at playing a level from time to time.
She does. And amazing. Started with opera. She went to jazz.
Fantastic.
And now working from the jazz playbook and just killing it.
And she's one of the people that votes on the Grammys.
She's insanely good.
Yeah.
And she should. It's like,
She's fantastic.
I don't know what to wear when she's performing.
No,
She was at a lawn event, and it's like, okay, well, you can bring your blankets and pillows. Yeah, but Tiana Hall's going to be there, so what do we wear?
Larger than life, man.
And
Yeah.
she's
Presentable.
like, shorts and a T-shirt? It's a lawn event. Yeah, but Tiana Hall's going to be there, so what should I wear?
Yeah.
I don't know how many times we're going to go over this, and I'm like,
You want me to tell you to put a fedora on? What are we going
yeah,
after?
She's
hey.
Waldorf Astoria. She's the Houston City Club. She's not, the field.
She's very serious,
yeah, she's bringing that touch. She's singing that music.
So your
that-
question is are they welcome on the podcast?
yeah, is this Texas music that
course.
you bring into play? Because that's a Texas artist, I assume. Now she's playing, music that was generated all over the world. I mean, she's playing from the jazz,
The standards.
playbook. Yeah,
Right, right.
and American jazz playbook.
Absolutely.
So, but she's a Texan and she's native to Conroe, and it's so I. Does this apply? I mean, can you bring them?
Are you
in,
asking
or-
because we're sponsored by TCMA now? Because country music and then there being jazz music?
I-
Which is a good question.
I just feel like if
Valid.
that whole thing is in
So,
there, or to where the fence is at.
Anything Texas music, either created in Texas, born in Texas, from Texas, moved to Texas, is now creating in Texas, releasing music on the Texas charts. Texas music, anything that we can somehow or another way associate with the growth and development of Texas music is what we want to do. So for Tiana Hall,
Yeah.
absolutely. Whether or not she's from Texas, she's playing and performing in Texas, and the money that she's making for her community is going to Texas communities. So yeah, we would love to review her if she submitted her music. It behooves country artists to submit them to us now that we're with TCMA, but they're going to be the only country music association that we work with. Country
Yeah.
Music Association.
Sure, yeah.
We're still available to work with like Billboard and other stuff like that, and the possibilities of that happening now are increased. But anything, if somebody submits me a rap song. You know what I mean? As
Yeah.
long as the lyrics are appropriate and they're positive, I don't like negative material. I don't bring down my fellow man, or woman for that matter. I want positive stuff. I want family-friendly stuff, and I want to create and foster a healthy music community.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's
any
great.
type of
Amen
music
to
is
that.
welcome.
That's
Any type
awesome.
of music is welcome. Yeah.
And the arts are one of those places that I think since biblical times that we've been able to give a little free rein to. All they got to do is say it's the arts. It's like, but she's naked, and you're like, well, it's for art.
Why
I'm
are
like,
you complaining? But
All right,
Yeah.
all right. He made a
Right.
statue out of granite, and sure, it's got some of the
Right.
mentionables going
I would
on
argue-
there, but it was for art, and these things are still in the same posture, fashion, and cask that they were to begin with. Same thing can go with Texas music in its raw state. So I believe the arts can cross those boundaries a little bit. Being derogatory or something like that can be hurtful, and those things. I guess I
Well,
would
the
avoid
very
on our
nature
show, but
the very nature of communication is music, because if
Yeah.
you define music as a change in pitch and change in timing since Neanderthal times, and changing the pitch
Yeah.
and timing in your grunts, like think about
one
peanuts.
more time. Let's do that last part again. You've said this part
Since
before.
Neanderthal times, the change in pitch and timing in grunts has communicated emotions whether or not you understand the language. Also hand signs, but if you think about a cartoon like Peanuts, right, where you
Yeah,
have the substitute teacher, wah,
Yes.
wah, 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 you know she's being boring. And when she's mad at the kids, what happens? She changes her timing. Wah, 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 wah. Well, this is essentially music that we are creating right now, talking to each other. We're creating music and expressing how we feel.
Absolutely, which is a good segue. My turn for a question.
Okay.
So, and you said you've been doing this for how long?
Full time, 10 years, but my whole life.
Okay, so as far as Texas music reviews, how long?
A couple months.
Okay.
I'd say it's been in the process 5 months. We've been airing for the last about the last two. And we've had a lot of interest generated into it already, people looking to sponsor. And even though there may be the subscription model very few right now, they're all incredibly dedicated and they're very responsive and very active with participating in what we have going on, and I think that that's wonderful. I'm very thankful to everybody that subscribes to that channel.
Definitely. And where do you want to be 5 years from now? Within Texas.
Where do I want to be?
Music reviews. Tell me your vision 5 years from now.
I want to still be able to wake up and know that I love what I'm about to do that day, no matter what it is. And whatever, God brings into my life, I'm going to try my best to handle it the right and correct way. But I think at the end of the day, people spend their whole lives trying to figure out that all they really want is to be home surrounded by people that they love. And for me, that's Texas.
Good.
So as long as I
love, well, I'm going to throw in some food and drink in there. Love, food, and drink.
Yeah,
right?
well,
Entertainment.
to want for nothing,
I
right?
think
To
that's
want for
in there
nothing.
in the love, food, and drink. I love my entertainment. I love my music.
Love it.
I love my dancing. I love my cooking myself as much as I love eating it. You know what I mean? So you may love playing music as much as you love hearing it. And there's a lot of that in contrast to people and their passions. I don't cook great food for nothing. And I weigh 422 pounds.
I love food.
Oh, I got a passion for food. So I'm this huge chef. And I get that, the happy chef. And I think passion shows that full roundabout. And that was one of my question was, how do you? If I hear Harley Ray, I want to see Harley Ray play. I'm
Sorry, I didn't bring my guitar today, man.
Yeah, I know. I was freaking
You owe
out.
us
I'm like,
next time.
No
Next
problem.
time.
serious? And he's,
I have some unreleased music I can give
But
you.
when and in reference to the podcast, no, I know we're not on stage here. We're not at a performance. You're
Sure.
not on, and I've seen you turn that light on like, I'm in session. And the light comes on, and Harley Ray goes to play.
Sure.
And here comes the Harley Ray music, which has brought you, thousands of fans, thousands of following, and they really do love your music. I love your music.
I love them, man. I love you.
I love you too, man.
We all love you.
And I love the contrast in your music. I love your covers. I love your written songs. I like the way you can work with other musicians. I like how they agree with you, and not just AJ Santana and that
sure
meld
means a
we
lot.
saw there, but I saw you work with Caleb Holscher and a few others in the past, and some
Love
other
Caleb.
stages. And I'm thinking, to just chime in, it's like joining a line dance while it's in motion. It's like they just chicka chicka chicka, and then you just slip right in there. You have the ability to do that almost seamlessly, and I know that comes from a lot of experience of working
practice,
and and
Natural.
where
He's a natural.
where AJ's
That's what it
picking
is.
up two
I just
songs
think I'm
on
well
us,
practiced.
you're just with a
Right.
few words you can take and tune him in, and get him right about a song you wanted to sing. Was there a song that AJ wanted to sing that maybe he brought to the table for you?
So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, so during that set with AJ, obviously we typically play much different music, but I've been doing it for so long, and I've played so many different styles. I've been in jazz bands, I've been in reggae bands, I've been in blues bands. I've even produced rap music. So, like, listening to his style, I'm like, hey, man, listen, whatever you want to play, and I'll just try to play what I can. So instead of playing country, I'm playing music like from The Killers, Three Doors Down, Led Zeppelin, stuff to complement his style. Because last thing you want to do is polarize your crowd, you know what I mean? And AJ just, I feel like his approach during that set was really, really, really well thought out, with providing his own rhythm track with his MIDI sampler, to using that microphone effects to emulate certain types of microphone preamps and stuff during his sound to give a whole really mastered effect. And me, on the other hand, I'm just to put a mic, turn the mic on, turn the guitar on, let's go. And his writing too is phenomenal. If you sit down and listen to his lyrics, what he's saying is phenomenal, and people just discredit it because, or people maybe don't listen as well as they should, because his guitar playing is just so technical that it's like, okay, this is probably somebody else's music. There's no way that guy wrote this technical piece. But you hear him get done and be like, thank you, that's an original, and you're wishing you would have paid more attention during the course of that song. And I love that about AJ. He never slows down, he never stops. And there's a fire in that guy's eyes. When you sit down next to him, you walk away feeling energized, And
I do.
it's just
I mean, yes.
I love that effect in people.
Yeah.
He's
wonderful.
Exactly.
Your fire just gets lit.
Fired up, energy.
Yeah.
It's very, very attractive, and it consumes you. It makes you go to that just next step of life.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Appreciation.
Yeah.
He does. He's got that. He's got that fire. He's got that energy, and he brings on some songs that people understand and know in different genres. Yeah. And I think country music, the more timeless, the older, the better sometimes. And then you can bring it into the more modern stuff. And you almost narrow your audience by going modern.
Oh, I get, so this is funny. I get, messages and emails from my past all the time being like, well, Harley, didn't you used to play indie music, emo music? And why are you all of a sudden now doing country? And it's not that I'm all of a sudden now doing country. It's just that there's a process in life of learning and growing and changing. Now, I was raised in Texas. I was raised around country music my entire life. And I love emo and punk and blues and heavy metal and all that. There's a place for that. And at that time in my life, not knowing quite where I belonged, where I fit in this great big world in the music industry, that's the perfect place to be for emo music and indie music. And that has its place in my life. But now, as I'm older now, I'm a husband, I'm a father. I know exactly who I am. I know exactly what I stand for and what I believe in.
Compost to the flourishing weeds and moved on with the growth.
No,
that
I
was
think
intended.
I finally found who I was. I finally understood.
It's that self-identity.
And country music is one of the only genres where you can't be unsure of who you are and expect to be anything in this industry. To be in country music and to be successful, you must have a sound understanding of who you are, because that's what you're portraying in your music.
Absolutely.
I do like.
I cannot agree with you more.
I agree
That's
too.
great. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
I
You nailed it.
Thank you.
I do feel like Texas has introduced things to me, right?
Yeah.
Where I made an assumption. I thought this was what it was, and this is what's going to happen, and this is what I should expect, and more of the same. But as young country's gone on, it's gone, a bit industrial, then it's gone a bit, in some different directions, and then they, everybody tries to embrace the new tunes and what people like, and
These are young people
grow.
finding themselves.
And I think that's what you experienced.
Absolutely.
As a youth, I did a lot of crazy stuff.
There's always room for
My hair was a lot longer when I was younger than it is now.
I would love to see pictures of that, Armando. I really would.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh my
I think you would look
gosh.
good with long hair, man.
Montgomery High School football team, class of '89.
All right,
You
noted.
can go pull up the football photos now, and my hair's about right here.
Would you play tight
I'm
end?
part in the middle, linebacker.
Okay.
Linebacker, yeah.
Linebacker, right on.
Yeah. And but that was when Montgomery High School was a 2.1A.
no.
And then I think there were like 90 something people in our graduating class, like 89 or something like that. And our district attorney Brett Lagan was one of those. And we had a real small group. I mean, and they've all gone off to do different things. But it's nice that you can. Is that? Oh.
Sorry.
There's a bird in the room.
That was the
That
Gina.
was,
I have something to say.
right, that's my
Go ahead,
cue.
Gina. I'm sorry,
That's
my
my
bad.
cue,
I was
right?
ranting on about high school days.
I know. Okay. Well, speaking of high school days, we have roots.
Bears. We're the Bears.
No,
The
but we
Lions
have
are new.
roots
They
of
just
G-Town. G-Town represent Gina, G-Town.
There's a town for you.
Gina, G-Town, Galveston. Thank you very much.
I knew there was a spot for you. I didn't know there was a town.
Oh well, and I before we leave the Tiana Hall bit, and one of the reasons she's on my mind is she last appeared here in Conroe, as far as I know, at the Jazz Fest at the Grand Central Park Conroe.
Right on.
She was there. She did a live performance, full stage band. She was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 piece, I believe, her and a 5 piece, trumpet, drum,
All the fixins.
viola, yeah. Outstanding. A couple hours of playtime there. It was a wonderful event. They had the second line. The brass Boomtown band was playing, which is all the boards
big
and the
band,
washboards.
Yeah, nice.
And the second line is. Are you familiar with what the second line is? Do you know what the second line is?
Tell me.
It's in a festival, a jazz festival. The second line is where the community gets to get up and dance along, but embraces it as part of the performance, not a dance. We're not dancing to dance with our loved ones and friends. This is more part of the show, right? So when we're called upon, our whole community is part of the performance, right? So the second line brings on that community side, right? So the artists and the musicians take the lead on it, and then front line. Second line is everybody dancing behind them, everybody doing their thing. And it's super cool to be part of the second line. And the band versus the artist, the band would focus on making sure the second line could come in. And they would do things like maracas, tambourines, and little things where they played along and really brought it where it was louder than life. It was
That's really
bigger
neat, yeah.
than the stage. It went beyond the stage. And
Part
they
of
were
the culture.
and they
Right.
were involved in it.
Yeah.
So there's a real big second line that goes on there, and it was there last year at Grand Central Park Conroe at the Lake House. And the reason I wanted to bring that up, because Jazz Fest has done the tour around the
Yes.
calendar over at Grand Central Park Conroe, it's a Showcase Houston. The Boomtown Brass Band's going to be there. That will be at Grand Central Park tx.com/jazz_fest. And you can just probably go to Grand Central Park TX and find it. But that's coming up. That's this month. And I think it runs the 29th, 1 to 4. You'll have to double check that. Jazz Fest, the Lake House, Grand Central Park, Conroe. And they haven't given us the musician list, so I don't know if Tiana's going to be there again. Sherry Lavo was there last year and a few others.
I love Sherry.
Yeah, super cool. Right, and there were so many other really cool people, Boomtown Brass Band, and Sherry Lavo, Tiana Hall, a few others, lots of vendors, food trucks, and all that stuff. And it was just, man, everybody's just chilling out in the lawn, listening to some great jazz. And I don't even know if they knew who they were. All of them knew who they were listening to. But it was outstanding. It was a great show. And I look forward to seeing that this year. And it's right around the corner. It's this month. And
Isn't it the second annual?
It's the second.
That's what I thought.
I don't think they called it that, though.
Oh,
okay. I looked it up, and I hadn't heard
Second.
much about the thing, and I want to know a little
We
bit
could
more.
learn a little something from not dating ourselves with the
you
jazz.
know. And speaking of Grand Central Park, it is impressive how much has completely grown. You know, you have houses, new spec homes, and great restaurants. You have
Marcel Plaza.
Mezzi, Voodoo Grill, La Madeleine just opened up the doors.
That's right.
I mean, you have
Cootery.
Cootery. You
That
have
golf-
one-stop
that
shop
that
of
golf
Marshalls
place?
and all those fun stores, and you
that
have a
golf
little bit of
place?
everything.
Is that golf place over there? It's like a little indoor
Oh
golf.
wow, I've been there. Great cognac. Great.
Did you go there?
Great.
The Cootery's going to
yummy
be doing
drinks.
food there from right next door,
Yeah.
so they don't serve food, from what I understand.
No, they don't.
Yeah, so the Cootery will be catering to there, but they don't open until next month. But
Awesome.
we'll get into and wrap up with those here in just a minute. Harley, I next live performance that our audience can catch you at, and if they haven't seen a Harley Ray live performance, now I know you do a lot of things, the show, the podcast. That aside, I can barely watch that podcast. I'm like, Harley Ray, sing something. Harley, what's he talking
I've been
about?
told that.
When's he gonna play something?
Right.
You know, I can watch a show like that, or I can watch it going, oh, that's cool. Okay, wow. Oh, that's an interesting song. But if I'm not into the band or song you're playing, I just want you to play.
I have a separate YouTube channel as
Give
well.
me some love, Harley. What you got? You know,
Harley Ray Official on YouTube. Text Music Reviews on YouTube. I got Montgomery County Cook-Off playing on Friday.
Nice.
I'm gonna
tonight, Friday night.
be Friday
Yeah.
night.
At what time?
I'll be there at 6.
You know, this show airs Fridays, so it should air at 1 o'clock. So tonight at
Coming out
6.
to the Montgomery County Cook-Off tonight at 6.
Montgomery
Catch your
County
friend Harley
Cook-Off.
Ray. Yeah.
Is there
Okay.
different stages?
And
or
I'll
one
be there.
stage?
I'll be at at the largest cook-off tent.
Okay.
And then
need to
on
go.
Saturday I'll be out in Magnolia at Tressy's. The big news is that next month I will be in Pasadena at the Strawberry Fest, the 50th annual
those are
Strawberry
always
Fest.
fun.
It's
I
huge.
love going
Big
there.
names are playing. I can't really release who's playing right now. I'm not supposed to tell anybody.
Okay.
But there is some news coming. There is some tickets coming soon. Get them early while they're
Stay
cheap.
tuned, yeah.
They will be really expensive. It's going to be massive this year. They're going to try to break the world record again for the largest strawberry shortcake. But yeah, I'll be playing there all 3 days. You can catch me. I might even make an appearance on Thursday as well. But that's a big one. And then after that, Vintage Market Days in Huntsville. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I have.
Vintage Market Days will be in Huntsville, and I'll be playing and performing that festival all 3
Okay.
days as well. Me and my band.
Well, I have not heard the band, and I think the
I love
Vintage
it.
in Huntsville. And what's
Yeah.
the date on that? I don't have that one on my calendar,
That
but I've heard
is-
of it. You know, I went to Sam, and I remember them having it, but it was like
He's
nothing.
looking,
I wouldn't for the like that sort of thing when it came around on the schedule. I wouldn't.
that
go
will be
to it.
last weekend in May.
Last week in May.
Last week in May. Okay.
And they have Vintage Market Days has a whole bunch of different festivals. They have like 4 or 5 that they do throughout the greater Houston area every year. And they're so much fun to go check out. And, you know, it's a family-friendly event. They don't serve alcohol there. So, you know, bring your grandmas, bring your little ones. They got, and it's so, the stuff that they have, the vendors are just from a time gone by. That's just wonderful.
It is. It's super cool. And you know, if your Easter recipe has any like vanilla sugar or like certain types of products that you can't get at Walmart that you're like, where do I get this stuff?
Ask me more.
Well, I'll tell you, you can head down to the square in Huntsville at this thing, and they're making it. It's there. It's there, you know, and it's so unique but yet so basic, you know, and these basic ingredients are called on a regular basis during the holidays for traditional recipes.
That's right.
So you can go to these real, these kind of open markets, and you can find those ingredients that most of your basic old school recipes are calling for.
Yeah,
Because
that's
sugar
true.
and vanilla just don't do it like vanilla sugar does.
Right.
You know, I'm just saying. You know, you got to do it right. You got to put the right ingredients in there, and you get the right result. And I'll tell you, I think that's what you have on that podcast you're working on right now. And I think the states noticed it, and I think people in country music have noticed it. And Texas music, I hope you keep a bit of reservation for them. I understand keeping it country is important, and it is part of what is traditional here in the state of Texas versus new Texas rap. And I know introducing new Texas, even jazz or other diversities of Texas music can be challenging, you know.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of people that don't do country music here in Texas typically wind up in California or like Nashville or one of the greater music cities, because Texas, I mean, if you're in the United States, Nashville is a music capital, sure, but anywhere else in the world, people are looking at Texas for country music. And I've just noticed that, you know, I've been all over the place, all over the world, military brat myself. And with Texas music, that's what we're about. Anything Texas music, anything
it's
Texas
nice to
culture.
embrace those folks. And I think they need platforms too. And I really do think that if our musicians and our artists are putting out some music and it's self-generated or from the American playbook and they are true blue Texan, I think maybe giving them a place is nice. Always having a place.
There's no place like Texas.
Yeah,
man.
it's not always. It's difficult. But
Well, you know what the state motto is, right?
which motto?
You know what the Texas state motto.
Come and take it.
A lot of people think that it's "Don't mess with Texas," but
No,
the state
that's
motto of Texas is friendship.
Yeah, I
the
did
state
not
motto
know
is.
that. We learn something every day.
Yes.
And you know, I think our high schools and all our schools require a whole lot more Texas education than any other state requires about their own.
It's a wonderful place to live.
Yeah, you'll
Definitely.
know a
I'm
lot
proud
more.
to be a Texan.
Proud to be a
so
Texan.
proud.
Harley, how can we find the show?
You can, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, be it Google, Apple, Spotify, anywhere, Texas Music Reviews.
Texas Music Reviews.
And we're the
Google
only of
that.
our kind. We're the
Super.
only of our kind. There's no one else doing music reviews. And then if you're interested in the video format, you can go over to YouTube and check out Texas Music Reviews on YouTube.
And your calendar of events? When
Calendar
you
of
play?
events is listed on there as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Harley, thank you for coming on the show today. We're going to direct some folks that way. We're going to send them there. We'll put some notes in the links in the notes below and direct them out there. And we'll look for you in Huntsville at the Vintage Market as well as the other event. I didn't write that one down, but I know you had another one going on that was outside.
Pasadena.
Yeah, Pasadena.
Strawberry, come on,
Strawberry.
Pasadena,
Yeah,
down, Dina.
Yeah, don't get down to Pasadena
No,
that often.
you need to know
I think
Pasadena
the odds
down,
of going
Dina.
to a strawberry festival, it's just challenging for me. But Huntsville, Vintage, that's in my wheelhouse. I can make
you,
that
yeah.
one. And I look forward to seeing you in the band. We'll see you then. And thank you for coming on the Texas Ticket Show, folks. We'll be right back after this and more here on the Texas Ticket.
All right.
Lone Star Radio on my mind.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gold Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket. Hey, this is Armando. Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. We're here with the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show. Armando and Gina.
Gina Magaly Rodriguez, a la orden.
Dang. Okay, so we wanted to go over the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show where we go over all the local events that, we think are super noteworthy. We want to make sure we share with you. So we're going to make sure we share some of these with you. Of course, tomorrow, April Fool's Day. Look out. Warning.
That's right.
Get your game right.
Watch what you say.
Get your game right. Jazz Fest, we mentioned it earlier in the show. I want to bring that out there. It's at the Lake House, Grand Central Park, Conroe. You can check that out at Grand Central Park, Texas. GrandCentralParkTX.com/jazz_fest. So I
We'll
wanna
be there.
Make sure I bring that one up. I love to. That's going to be great. Up April 22nd at Grand Central Park, Conroe. They're also having their neighborhood-wide garage sale at the Lake House as well. Wanted to bring that up for you. You can go there. They have all their stuff. You can shop amongst all the neighbors in one spot, from what I understand. So I'm still checking that one out. Community Neighborhood Garage Sale goes from 8 to 1 p.m., 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Lake House. April 15th, Market Days, Yum Food Truck has having a vendor market. It's a come out that's on 1097 right before you get to Bentwater on your left-hand side. Right next to
Noted.
that really cool tattoo salon and a few neighborhoods. Fisherman's Coves on the right-hand side. Right before you cross that little short bridge at the Shell where Guadalajara's is.
Gotcha.
Also, Pine Market, Woodlands, Harvest Market, Wood Forest is having a Pine Market April 1st, 10 to 1 photo opportunity. I think this is with the Easter Bunny himself.
Of course, it's Easter season.
And that's April 1st, so it's not on Easter. So 10 to 1, and they're
Gotcha.
getting a good crowd already on this event. So if you're looking to go out and you're in the Magnolia area, the Harvest Market Wood Forest event down there is April 1st. Thursday, April 13th from 7 p.m. to 8:30. Foreigners, Double Vision, a Foreigner tribute band is going to be playing at Heritage Park right here in Conroe.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, and they've been at
my.
a lot of events around here. They've been at Deep Roots, I think. They were at Bernhardt Winery. They were at a few others. That we can thank City of Conroe Parks and Recreation for that at Heritage Park. You come out and see a variety of bands play. Thursdays for the free concert.
Free.
Oh,
F-R-E-E.
What do I get for free? Yeah, Friday the 7th, Movie Market, Bushels and Blooms. And if you don't know where Bushels and Blooms is, it's right next door to Vernon's Country Catfish.
I love that food.
Staple.
Let's go.
Neighborhood
Fried fish
staple.
after this.
And that is right there on Highway 105 West. You can go all the way down. It's still in the Conroe city limits, right past that driving range on the left-hand side. If you keep going west, like you're going to Montgomery with Conroe at your back. Bushels and Blooms is right there at the light on the left-hand side.
Wow.
It's that fruit stand. It's kind of like where they sell the Christmas trees. I didn't know
Yes.
it was called Bushels and Blooms. I lived my whole life here. Like, it's Bushels and Blooms. Where's that at?
You got to get with it.
It's
Come
next
on.
door to Country Catfish.
Okay, noted.
There's no sign there, nothing like that. But everybody knows that's where you get your Christmas trees next to Country Catfish, firewood, plants, fruits, things like that. It's good, a good market there. They will be having a movie market celebration at 6019 West Davis or Highway 105 West next to Vernon's. 713-505-9059. They're looking for some presenters, vendors, stuff like that, all that fun stuff. April 18th, Level Up Networking event at the Moonshine Deck. Now, the Moonshine Deck is a brand new event-based venue right here in town. I think it's right out near Magnolia. And you can get a free headshot or a headshot. I don't know if it's free.
Let's go. It's time for you to get a new one.
5:30 to 8:30. Can update that sucker right there. Full vendor market. They're looking for sponsors. RCP on Facebook, or they welcome the walk-ins. You can come out to the Level Up Networking event and do some networking, meet other people, meet other businesses, get your
B2B?
headshot. Yeah. What's BTB?
Business to business?
Business to business. I was thinking
B2B?
big team battle. You know, and I don't know if you know the big team battles, but that's in the gamers world. That's gamer jargon. So, what do you got?
All right. So Easter's around the corner. We have events at Market Street. And one of the things that I'm really excited about is Jason Allen at the Medley, April 7th. Yes.
Table
So
at
stay
Medley.
tuned, please. Yummy food trucks. Then I'm going to transition into the Montgomery County Fair. Lots of events, mcfa.org. Look it up. Tons of events. I'm not going to read them all
And
for
we'll
you.
go through next Tuesday. We'll go over some of that stuff next Friday. Sorry.
Definitely. Two things I want to transition into. Easter brunch at the Galvez Hotel, Sunday, April 9th, 10:30 to 2 p.m., along with another Easter brunch at Margarita Lake Resort.
Speaking of Margarita Lake Resort, we have the Margarita Boat Show on
Yes.
Lake Conroe, April 21st through 23rd. That'll be at Margaritaville. And you can do the whole thing. Outdoor, on-the-water boat show, test some boats, ride some boats, check some boats, go inside. That's Ski Dock, Texas Boats and Outdoors. That's Be
Perfect.
Local Magazine. That's a whole lot of folks out there doing some great stuff. And that show this is their second one. Pretty cool stuff.
That's awesome. And then the last one for all the crawfish lovers, Crawfish Critic Cook-Off, April 15th on a Saturday. Gates open at noon.
And that Crawfish Critic, that's a Facebook social media group.
Exactly. So
Yeah, they're
Three
rising
Palms
up.
Action Park.
Folks, well, thank you for watching the Texas Ticket Show. You know what? And Gina,
Armando,
thank you for coming out.
thank you so much. It was fun.
Well, hopefully we'll have you on next Tuesday or next Friday. Come back and visit with us. Thank you for watching the Texas Ticket Show. We'll see you next week at facebook.com/TXTicket. Catch it.
Represent.
Every minute